got to start with Group G, Manchester City taking on Borussia Dortmund. It was a bit of a scare for Manchester City. They did win in the end by 2-1, thanks to that man, Erling Haaland. I cannot wait to run through the stats for you. But I'm going to start with you, James Benge. It was a bit of a scare, and it was nice to see Jude Bellingham get on the score sheet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fantastic. And I just thought, kind of watching that game through the corner of my eye whilst focusing on Chelsea, I just thought, who is this guy, Jude Bellingham? We've known for a long time how good he could be. And I thought this was one of the best performances I've seen from him yet, and the sort that kind of gets you looking ahead to that World Cup. And I know Gary Lineker was tweeting as well and sort of saying, this guy's got to start in the England midfield. But then, John Stones as well. I want to see more game time from him. I thought he was authoritative in defence for most of this game. It wasn't exactly the most dangerous of Dortmund attacks until Bellingham scored. And then a wonder goal, which obviously Erling Haaland felt compelled to eclipse, because I was like, no one's scoring a better goal than John Stones tonight. And that lasted all of a few minutes. I mean, Erling Haaland, this guy, he can't be human. He must have been built in a factory, designed to create the perfect footballer, because no one that size is supposed to be able to do things like that.
James, have you not seen Ibrahimovic? Come on.
Actually, that's fair. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. There you go. But anyway, yeah, you can shake your finger all you like. Wasn't the greatest of games, I must say. I think until they scored, that was Manchester City's first shot on target in the 60th or 70th minute. But again, Haaland there, that's why he got brought to City. That's the belief that they have in him. Again, my worry is there too much of a reliance? How many times is he going to do that for Manchester City? Because it was a truly fantastic goal, like acrobatic. That is what you call athleticism at its best. But also, let's not be fooled. This guy is a very talented football player. Very good with his feet. Super intelligent with his movement. And even if you look at that goal again, not just even the cross into the box, but watch Haaland's desire to get in the box, to make runs in behind defenders. That's something that I think any young players or young fans watching should really be studying and watching. Every time the ball's out wide, he's not standing next to a defender being comfortable, thinking the ball's going to fall to my feet. He's trying to make things happen. Willing to run in behind, willing to run in front of defenders, just got that great movement. And what a fantastic goal. Truly was. And again, it's the one where Haaland saves Manchester City. But the question is, how many times can he do that? And I still feel as well, James, you obviously saw the goal. There's still questions lingering about Manchester City, how far they can go in this tournament, because still defensively, they still don't look that great to me. I think that teams will find themselves very comfortable and have a lot of belief that they can get goals against this Manchester City side.
Yeah, it's already been proven, Nigel, if you think of the amount of times that Manchester City have come back in games and got themselves into a position to either draw or go on and win games. They're relying heavily on Erling Haaland. Just want to run through the stats from that game. Jude Bellingham obviously got the first goal in the game on the 56-minute mark, fourth goal of the Champions League career for him. He is the youngest ever teen to have 4 goals in the Champions League, believe it or not. John Stones on the 80th minute. What a great goal that was from John Stones, his first Champions League goal since 2017. And these are the stats I want to read off to you, James and Nigel. This is just something that blows me away. Erling Braut Haaland. I mean, he looks like he's Norwegian, by the way. On the 84th minute, it was a stunning strike. He's 22 years old. That was his 24th Champions League goal, only 20th Champions League game. He scored for Borussia Dortmund 86 goals from 89 appearances, and for Salzburg, 29 goals from 27 appearances. And for Manchester City, that was his 13th goal in only his 9th appearance. And I was shaking my hand, Nigel, at you. You can answer in just a second. But I was waving my hand because you compare him a little bit to Zlatan. And I agree with you. The flexibility and how he can do these crazy maneuvers, Zlatan-esque, right? I mean, it's just the same as you would see Zlatan do these crazy maneuvers. But I think if you look at his finishing ability, he's kind of a mix between most of the greats who have played in the Premier League. I'd put Alan Shearer in there, just the way he finishes. I'd put Andy Cole in there because of the way he finishes. And I think that's the record he's chasing in the Premier League. But this guy is something I have never seen before. And from the moment I laid eyes on him, when he scored, I think, 7 goals in a game for Norway in the Under-20s World Cup, you could tell he was something different. But I think even my expectations have been blown away. But am I right to compare him to some of the greats that have ever played in the Premier League? When you look at his style, he's different, he's unique, he could be better than all of them with the goals that he's scoring. But Nigel, could you see that?
100%. I agree with you. And when I compared him to Zlatan, my thing was more so the physical aspect. and the athleticism with that physicality. You know, we've seen other players that are in that 6 foot plus height range, and most of the time they've just been used as target men in their career. Hold the ball up, bring everyone else into play, not the best with the ball at their feet. But no, this guy is gifted. And I agree to you in the sense of he's a natural born finisher. He is definitely a cut of the Shearers, the Andy Coles, the Van Nistelrooys even. He knows where the goal is. He doesn't need to look up. Once the ball's at his feet around that box, he knows exactly where to put it. So for me, it was only the physical aspect that I was going to compare to Zlatan and athleticism. But for me, I think he's more lethal, more dangerous than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And that's saying a lot.
One of the things that really intrigues me, kind of looking at some of the stats, and I don't know what your guys' view is on things like expected goals, but the difference between what a ordinary average player would be doing with the chances Haaland has got and what Haaland has done, and actually even what a sort of Messi or a Son, you know, the players that we say are the best finishers in the world, it is. You know, it's utterly remarkable. I'm just kind of looking at the numbers here. And by all means, discount expected goals, but 65.7 expected goals in Bundesliga, Premier League, and Champions League. He scored 86 goals. That's 25%, 26% more. He's scoring, you know, if an average player is scoring 4 goals with the chances he gets, he's scoring 5. Even Messi is 10% better. You know, Son is 8% better. I don't understand if that's actually possible. You know, this is, you know, when we talk about greatest players, greatest strikers ever, even they don't do that. So I think kind of statistically, one, we probably can't expect this. This is like magic. We probably can't expect it to keep going. But even if he drops off, just on the numbers and the stats, if he were to drop off, he's still one of the greatest strikers the world has sort of seen on current trend. And that's mad.
No, James, we can't expect it, and we do expect it. We want more from the Erling Haaland. We're not done yet with the Haaland. I think there's more goals to come. You're watching Qué Golazo, Ian Joy with James Benge and Nigel Reo-Coker with you. Do you agree with us? Erling Haaland, once again, this kid is continuously breaking records. Will he be the leading goal scorer in the Champions League this campaign? How many goals do you think he'll get? Please leave a comment and join in the conversation. I know a lot of people were a little frustrated with Nigel's comments yesterday on Chelsea, which is why we're about to move there in just a moment. But I'll let you know that Copenhagen and Sevilla drew 0-0. Manchester City topped the group, of course, with the 6 points. Dortmund quietly behind them with the 3 points. Looking forward to